Hey there. Let's talk about something we all deal with, but don't always love to think about budgeting. I know it might sound boring or even overwhelming, but stick with me. Budgeting doesn't have to be a drag. In fact, with a little bit of planning, let's break it down with some super simple tips that will help you take control of your money without all the stress. Tip 1, track your spending. All right, are you spending 5 on coffee? Maybe a little too much on those random shopping sprees. Don't worry, we've all been there. You can do this the old school way, with a notebook or use an app like Mint or Wine App. You'll start noticing things you didn't realize, and that's the first step to taking control. Tip 2, set clear goals next. You've got to have a goal. You can't just wander around aimlessly with your money, right? Maybe you're saving for a vacation, building an emergency fund, or paying off debt. Whatever it is, make it clear. Let's say you want to save one. Sure, 0 in 6 months for an emergency fund. That's about $170 a month. Break it down into small, manageable steps. Having a goal makes budgeting feel way more rewarding, because every time you put a little money aside, you're one step closer to that goal. Tip 3, break your budget into categories. Okay, now let's talk about how to actually organize your budget. A simple way to start is to break your expenses into categories. Think of them like buckets. Essentials, rent, utilities, food, and transportation. These are the non-negotiables. Non-essentials, heating out. Streaming services, shopping. These are the fun but flexible ones. Savings, this could be for your retirement, emergency fund, or any other long-term goals. Start by making sure your essentials are covered first. Once those are taken care of, look at your non-essentials. This is where you can make small adjustments. Maybe cut back on eating out. The 53D20. It's like a cheat sheet for your budget. Here's how it works. 50% of your income goes to needs. Things like rent, groceries, bill stuff, eating out, or shopping. 20% goes to savings or debt. This is where you'll build your emergency fund. Save for the future or pay down any outstanding debt. This rule keeps things simple and flexible. You can adjust it depending on your goals, but it's a solid starting point. Think of it like a basic framework for how to balance your spending.
Tip 5, build a buffer for unexpected expenses. Now, I'm all for being organized and sticking to a plan, but life has a funny way of throwing curveballs, like unexpected car repairs or a surprise medical bill. That's why it's smart to build a little buffer into your budget for those surprises. If you're already setting aside money for savings, you're halfway there, but even having a small cushion can give you peace of mind. Try to keep some wiggle room, even if it's just $50 a month. You'll be glad it's there when you need it. Tip 6, review and adjust regularly. Finally, don't think of your budget as something set in stone. It's more like a living document that needs a little TLC now and then. Every month, take a moment to review what's working and what's not. Are you hitting your savings goals? Do you have room to cut back in some areas? It's okay if things change. The key is to keep adjusting until you find a balance that works for you. So there you go. Budgeting doesn't have to be scary. By tracking your spending, setting clear goals, breaking your budget into categories, following the 50-30-20 rule, building a buffer, and reviewing it regularly, you'll be on your way to taking control of your finances. Remember, budgeting is a tool to help you live your best life, not a restriction. You got this.